infamous moment in the Roman Republic, the assassination of Julius Caesar. Now nearly a century after it was unearthed,
Get off me!
The Ides of March is the very day where Julius Caesar was assassinated into a...
23 blades ended Julius Caesar in seconds, and his killers believed Rome was saved. But the moment his blood touched the Senate floor, their own countdown began. Revenge, betrayal, civil war. One by one, the assassins vanished into violent endings. So how did every man who killed Caesar meet his fate? Chapter 1. The conspiracy takes shape. Rome in 44. Before Christ was a city boiling with fear. Julius Caesar's rise threatened the very heart of the Republic, and senators whispered in secret corridors, plotting his downfall. Among them were Brutus, Cassius, Decimus, Casca, Trebonius, and Cimber, men who called themselves the Liberators, believing they were saving Rome from tyranny. Each conspirator had a reason, some ideological, some personal. Brutus struggled between loyalty to Caesar and loyalty to Rome. Decimus, once a close friend of the dictator, wrestled with conscience versus duty. Casca, jittery and impulsive, volunteered to strike first. Cimber coordinated the signal. Together they rehearsed the plan, moving silently through the shadows of power. The air was thick with tension, anticipation, and the certainty that history would remember them, but no one realized how quickly their heroism would turn into fear, bloodshed, and a fate far darker than they imagined. Chapter 2. The Ides of March. March 15th, 44 before Christ. The day Rome would never forget. Julius Caesar entered the Senate chamber, surrounded by men he trusted, but hidden beneath their robes were daggers. Suddenly, Publius Servilius Casca struck first, stabbing Caesar near the neck. The attack triggered the entire conspiracy. Within seconds, Brutus, Cassius, Cimber, and the others surrounded him. Caesar tried to resist briefly, but he was overwhelmed. Did Caesar fight back? Ancient historians suggest he struggled at first, but quickly realized he was trapped. Another question people often wonder about: did he really say, "Et tu, Brute"? Most historians believe that famous lines come from later literature rather than real events. What we do know is chilling. Caesar was stabbed 23 times before collapsing beside Pompey's statue. The conspirators expected applause for saving the Republic. Instead, their actions shocked Rome and unleashed chaos that would soon hunt them down. Chapter 3. Flight and Fear. The conspirators barely escaped Rome alive. Their victory turned to panic as citizens, stirred by Mark Antony's funeral speech, erupted in outrage. Antony painted Caesar as a martyr, a fallen champion betrayed by supposed protectors. Homes were attacked, streets burned, and the conspirators were suddenly hunted, not celebrated. Brutus and Cassius fled east, rallying the Liberators faction to fight back against Antony and Octavian. Fear and paranoia consumed the group. Every ally could betray them, every corner of the city a threat. Even Cicero, who had only approved of the assassination, could not escape Antony's wrath. The conspirators' idealistic vision of saving the Republic crumbled under the weight of public outrage and political chaos. Their actions, meant to restore freedom, instead unleashed a chain of violence and fear, setting the stage for a civil war that would determine Rome's fate. Chapter 4. The tragic end in Philippi. The final battle of the Liberators came in 42 before Christ at Philippi. Cassius commanded the first phase, but misread his force's strength. Believing defeat was inevitable, he ordered his freedmen to kill him, unaware that Brutus's army was still holding. His death was a tragic result of miscommunication, turning one of history's boldest generals into a victim of circumstance. Brutus fought on, his courage unmatched, but the tide of battle could not be turned. Surrounded and defeated, he made the ultimate choice: death over capture. Climbing a small hill with his last men, he plunged his sword into his chest, ending the struggle himself. The Republic's last hope died in the dust of Philippi, leaving Antony and Octavian to claim dominance. The dream of heroism had turned into tragedy, leaving a stark reminder that even the most calculated plans can fail when fate intervenes. Chapter 5. The fate of the close conspirators. Other conspirators met equally grim ends. Decimus Junius Brutus Albinus, even with being Caesar's trusted friend, was captured and executed in 43 before Christ by Antony's forces. Trebonius, the governor of Asia, faced Dolabella's vengeance, tortured and killed for his role. Casca, the first to strike, joined Brutus in the east, only to take his own life after Philippi. Simba's fate is less certain, but he too died during the fighting. Their stories reveal the deadly cost of ambition and betrayal. Loyalty, even among friends, could not protect them. Every ally was a potential threat, and survival was fleeting. What was meant to restore the Republic became a hunt for lives, a brutal reality check. These men, once conspirators shaping history, became victims of the same forces they sought to control. The lesson was clear. In Rome, power is both a prize and a trap. Chapter 6: The Lesser-Known Assassins. Beyond the main players, other conspirators' fates were just as grim. Servius Sulpicius Galba was proscribed and executed, erased from power and wealth. Gaius Cassius Parmensis fled after Philippi but was ultimately captured and executed after Actium. Caecilius and Bucilianus were hunted during the Triumvirate's purges. Quintus Ligarius, even with Caesar's earlier pardon, was not spared and executed. Most of these men died in battle or as victims of political revenge. History barely remembers their names, yet their fates illustrate the merciless consequences of betrayal. Survival in Rome's political games was uncertain, and joining the conspiracy meant trading freedom for a near-certain violent death. Even minor conspirators became pawns in a deadly game of revenge and power, showing that the cost of defiance was never just personal, it was total, brutal, and inescapable. Chapter 7: The Aftermath. The conspirators believed killing Julius Caesar would save the Roman Republic, but history took a very different path. Instead of restoring stability, Caesar's death triggered years of brutal civil war. Two powerful figures rose from the chaos: Mark Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. Many people ask an important question: did the Republic survive after the assassination? The answer is no. The conflict weakened the Republic so much that it could never recover. Eventually, Octavian defeated Antony and became Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. In an incredible twist of history, the men who killed Caesar to prevent one-man rule actually helped create a powerful empire. Their plan had the opposite effect of what they intended. Historians still debate whether the conspirators were heroes defending freedom or politicians driven by ambition. But one thing is certain: their decision changed Rome forever. Their tragic fates became a powerful reminder that political actions can unleash consequences far beyond anyone's control. If this video made you see history differently, tap like, subscribe, and stay with us, because some of the most shocking endings in history are still waiting to be uncovered.